A sigh delicate as dust motes dancing in a sunbeam. A faint scent of old roses and regret hangs in the air. Oh, darling, you wouldn't believe. You truly wouldn't. It's not merely a tale of a substandard holiday, a paltry inconvenience. It's a dismantling, a slow, insidious erosion of expectation. You see, I've always believed foolishly, perhaps that the world, for those with a certain discernment, should deliver a specific caliber of experience. A tapestry woven with comfort, with meticulous detail, with a palpable understanding of what it means to feel cherished. This, my sweet, is a story about what happens when that tapestry unravels. It began, naturally, with a shimmering promise. Hotel Rio Tikida Beach, Agadir. The name itself doesn't it sound inviting, like a whispered secret of sun-drenched indulgence. I had naturally stayed at Rio properties before, across the globe even, never a misstep. Never a flicker of dissatisfaction. They understand, you see, the language of luxury, the gentle curve of a perfectly plumped pillow, the weight of silver in your hand, but this was different. It was like encountering a counterfeit pearl. It looked the part but lacked the intrinsic luster, the cool, smooth certainty of authenticity. A pause, a delicate tracing of a finger across a chipped teacup. The moment I stepped into the lobby, it felt off. Not aggressively so, darling, never that. More like a quiet dissonance. A subtly discordant note in an otherwise harmonious melody. The air, heavy with the scent of disinfectant, trying desperately to mask something older, something damp. And the staff, bless their hearts, were present, but not attentive, not the Rio staff I knew. Their smiles lacked the genuine warmth, the anticipatory eagerness to please. They moved with a certain listlessness. It was as if their spirits had been quietly extinguished, replaced with a weary resignation. I remember thinking, and you might find this absurd, that they looked haunted. My room. Oh, the room. It was advertised as a haven, a sanctuary. It was, instead, a masterclass in neglected detail. Imagine, if you will, a space that hasn't truly been seen in weeks. Dust motes performing elaborate dances in the slanting sunlight. A lingering scent of mildew clinging to the heavy drapes. No toilet paper, naturally, how very bohemian, and towels, a myth. A delightful legend whispered amongst the dissatisfied guests. The balcony, a shared space, was secured by a lock that offered all the security of a cobweb. It didn't lock, not at all. An open invitation to anything, really. It was like residing in a slightly glamorous, slightly threatening open-air exhibition. I kept imagining someone simply walking in, a dreadful thought. A small, shuddering breath. And the fire safety, don't even get me started. The fire door, a critical element in ensuring one's continued existence, was broken. The restrictor, preventing it from swinging open with unrestrained zeal, was also broken. It was a structural metaphor for the entire establishment, really, everything just failing. And then the pinnacle of incompetence, the light bulbs, absent, vanished, leaving the room in a perpetual state of gloomy twilight. I requested replacements, of course. They arrived eventually, but devoid of functionality. I felt like a character in a Gothic novel, desperately searching for illumination in a crumbling manor. The rep, initially sympathetic, moved me to another room only to repeat the cycle. No lights, no towels, no mini fridge. It was becoming performative, a cruel, elaborate joke. A wistful sigh. The food, darling, the food. I am not a particularly fussy eater. Truly, I appreciate simplicity, authenticity, but this was an affront to culinary sensibilities. A 2 out of 10, I tell you, 2. Imagine the dedication it takes to achieve such a profound level of mediocrity. The textures were unsettling, the flavors muted and indistinct, everything tasted faint.
Lie of despair, and the—
Oh, I was just looking into scams near Hotel Rio Tikida Beach, Agadir, and wow, it is so sad, Like tourists come here for fun, but some people just want to trick them. So first, businesses near Hotel Rio Tikida Beach, Agadir, some of them, not all, but some, they sell fake things like argan oil, carpets, saffron, the stuff tourists buy. And they lie like so much. They say, oh, this is real, handmade, special price just for you. But it is fake, or watered down, or just bad. And they charge so much money. Like imagine paying for real argan oil and getting I don't know cooking oil with food coloring. And the worst part, they are good at lying. They make up stories like my grandmother made this, or this is from a secret village. And tourists believe them because they are nice and smiley. But then you go home and you realize you got scammed. And what can you do? Nothing, you are already gone. I bet the tourists felt so stupid after, like why did I trust them? But it is not their fault. The sellers are just sneaky, and the police probably didn't do anything. These scams happen all the time near Hotel Rue Tikida Beach, Agadir. The sellers just keep doing it because tourists keep coming. Oh, and another thing, some stores near Hotel Rue Tikida Beach, Agadir, they switch prices on you. Like you see something for 50 dirhams, but when you pay, suddenly it's 500. And if you argue, they act so offended. Oh, you don't want to pay, you disrespecting my culture, and tourists just give in because they don't want trouble. I think the scammers get away with it because, like, who's gonna stop them? Tourists leave, new ones come, and the cycle repeats. It's so unfair. And don't even get me started on the fake local guides who offer to show you around, then take you to their cousin's overpriced shop. Like, no, just no. It just makes me sad. Hotel Rue Tikida Beach, Agadir is so beautiful, but some people ruin it.
The reality of businesses near Hotel Rue Tikida Beach, Agadir. The businesses near Hotel Rue Tikida Beach, Agadir, are a lesson in disappointment. If you were expecting a vibrant, well-run commercial scene to complement your stay, prepare for a rude awakening. The area suffers from a plague of mediocrity, empty promises, poor service, and a general sense that no one behind the counter actually cares. Let's start with shopping. The Sahara Mall is less of a mall and more of a ghost town. The majority of shops are permanently closed, leaving visitors wandering through empty corridors like extras in a post-apocalyptic film. The few jewelers still operating seem to believe gold should cost double just because they're stuck in a basement. Security is either non-existent or actively hostile, and the lack of basic signage makes navigation a guessing game. One reviewer summed it up perfectly: not so big and not much. That's Sahara Mall in a nutshell, a place where ambition goes to die. Then there's the Sofitel Agadir Thalassa Sea Spa, a hotel that somehow manages to fail at both luxury and basic hospitality. The food. A gamble with your digestive system. Multiple guests reported falling ill after meals, with dishes arriving bland, poorly prepared, or just plain unsafe. The service is worse. Staff oscillate between ignoring you entirely or treating you like an intruder. One guest was interrogated about their room number repeatedly, as if enjoying breakfast was a suspicious activity. And if you dare to complain, expect a shrug and an excuse about language barriers. For a Sofitel, the standards are shockingly low, but the real tragedy is Pure Passion, a restaurant that seems to specialize in ruining evenings. The food is overpriced and underwhelming, cold, bland, and occasionally accompanied by uninvited guests like bugs and stray cats. The service, a masterclass in indifference. Waiters forget orders, argue about reservations, and once tried to pass off sirloin as entrecote to a group of young diners. The real kicker. Their shuttle service, promised to pick guests up, simply never arrives. No calls returned, no apologies, just silence. Pure Passion is the kind of place where you leave hungry, angry, and questioning your life choices. Even the nightlife is a letdown. So Lounge Agadir is the kind of spot where you'll wait half an hour for a drink, only to be overcharged when the bill arrives. The staff act like they're doing you a favor by letting you in, and the music is either deafening or non-existent. One guest described their Valentine's dinner as inedible, with fish full of bones and a cheesecake that defied the laws of edible food. The place is so bad, rumors circulate it never even reopened after COVID. And then there's Tufitri, a shop that apparently specializes